my chair and my lead. We're on speed. Hello internet fanatics and welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're one of my current 385 subscribers, then welcome back, and if you're not, you're failing yourself. Before I even get into the video, I just want to preface this by saying that any closeted or out and proud teen movie buffs, A, you're not alone, and B, this one's for you. What I'm talking about today is not dissimilar to the stuff that I've made in the past, where I talk about the beef I have with the similarities between different fictional forms of media. Because why create original content when you can just regurgitate what's been made before? Well, that's certainly what the creative team behind Pitch Perfect said when they watched the early 2000s teen classic Bring It On. The shade that I'm about to throw honestly pains me. Both Bring It On and Pitch Perfect are healthy staples in any and all teen movie marathons, and have been instrumental in shaping the person you see ranting before you today. Kind of. Maybe I have an unhealthy dependency upon fictional characters to dictate my life choices. I don't know, maybe not. However, there is one thing that is thoroughly indisputable. The fact that Bring It On and Pitch Perfect are actually just the same movie. At first glance, you may disagree. I mean, you've got Bring It On, a rom-com about the trials and tribulations of high school competitive cheerleading. And then you have Pitch Perfect, a musical comedy all about the all-singing, all-dancing, all-female university a cappella group. So how can these movies possibly be anything alike? I'm so glad you asked. Number 1. Both films feature an edgy and alternative newbie auditionee who is met with skepticism and low-key hostility. In Bring It On, we have Missy, a transfer student who tries out for cheerleading as a last resort because the school has no gymnastics team, while Pitch Perfect has Becca, who wants to be a sound mixer, but also just auditions to be in a female a cappella group. Both are reluctant and don't want to be there, which once again begs the question why Becca auditioned in the first place, but moving on. Both wear an edgy amount of eyeliner, and both are basically told to calm it with their pesky desire to steer clear of the status quo. Whether that be refusing to steal cheerleading routines or wanting to sing anything other than Ace of Base. Number 2. Both movies have an iconic terrible audition montage. I don't really know what else I can say about that, that's just a straight up fact, but just watch the films. Number 3. In both of them there is a nice and dorky but not too dorky male romantic lead who gets angry at the protagonist for a dumb reason. Bring It On has Cliff, who's into bands like The Clash, but isn't cool enough to avoid the loser sneeze on his first day at his new high school. And Pitch Perfect has Jesse, who's passionate about 80s films and is not cool because he's in an all-male a cappella group. Just to be clear, it's not the fact that it's an all-male a cappella group that makes it uncool. It's just the fact that it's an a cappella group. And it's called the Troublemakers. And both of them got upset with the girl they like because they're impatient and frustrating idiots. Cliff is offended because Torrance has a boyfriend and apparently not being single is some kind of insult to humanity. And Jessie gets angry with Becca because she isn't totally ready for emotional intimacy. Because that's a valid reason for intense judgment. Number 4. The two movies both end with epic routines that were pulled together at the last minute, both of which feature mashups with portions heavily influenced by the aforementioned male romantic leads. Wow fam, that's a mouthful. At the end of Bring It On, despite the fact that the Toros keep accidentally stealing other teams' choreography, they still manage to dance to a pretty great mashup of all the songs used in the film, including Cliff's original song, which he wrote for Torrance. I really shouldn't know that song that well. But it's a banger, so it's great, it's a thing. In fact, it's a thing that happens twice. Jessie in Pitch Perfect, as I mentioned, is super into 80s movies and tries to encourage Becca to watch The Breakfast Club because apparently she doesn't like the medium of film, and then that inspires her to include Don't You Forget About Me and the Bellas mashup of songs in their final performance, which they somehow managed to pull together in about a day. I feel like again it's a banger, and also it's a straight up ripoff. Number 5. They both include quotable portmanteaus referencing the two films' respective competitive creative arts, which again is overly complicated. What am I doing? It's just like mashups of words. You've obviously got the classics like Cheerocracy and Arc Excuse Me, but then you also have the similarities between Bring It On's Cheer Sex and Pitch Perfect's Toner. I know, I am also taken aback. And now here's a bonus round. They both open with performance by the hyper-aggressive and bossy ex-captain, they both include a nervous Vol, and they were both released by Universal Studios. Coincidence? Nah. Bruh. Nah. So yeah, they're basically the same movie, which is ironic because one of Bring It On's main messages is that copying others is terrible and that you should be original and creative. But despite Pitch Perfect pulling a total Sparky Pilastre, I'm actually okay with it. Part of the whole teen movie shtick is that they're totally unoriginal and derivative. And if I could guess what happened in either of the two movies because the plot points were so out of nowhere and avant-garde, then I would be incredibly disappointed and still ranting and making a YouTube video about it. So yeah, basically moral of the story is that plagiarism is okay and that both movies are iconic. And that's all I have for you. If you found this video to be vaguely enlightening, or as a fan of both Bring It On and Pitch Perfect you are completely and utterly offended, then please give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Thank you for watching. Bye! They both include quotable portmanteaus that reference the two films' respective competitive creative arts.